Hey everybody, welcome to BombSquad. I'm Dan Stacy, and you are about to witness my nerdy family and I use silly voices and exploding dice to tell a good story. And our first announcement is Zechariah, our dear friend, just had a call from his baby boy and his wife who are feeling very sick, so he had to run home to help put baby boy down. So we're gonna just pretend he was here. So he should be back in time for the next episode, but for this episode we'll be lacking our Tiri. Which forces a bit of the narrative, but we'll see how they handle it. So, RPG MRE for this session.
RPG MRE of the day is almonds. Now, healthy fats, vital for hormone function, everybody. Men and women alike. So I'll pass them around. I'm only gonna have a few, because remember, a quarter cup of nuts is 170 calories, roughly, depending on the nut. Almonds, I think, right? Almonds tend to be lower.
170.
Cashews a little bit higher, but I like cashews the most. Now, these are raw, unsalted almonds, which technically, if you eat them in the raw form, they have the most vitamins, because if you don't cook them, are the most health benefit. So
yeah. Roasted tastes good, though.
Right, roasted and salted tastes good.
Yes.
160 to 170 calories.
Right, depending.
Well, to be honest, candied tastes the best.
However,
The best part of Runfest is the
they're
candied
still really
nuts.
good. And fats are vital for satiation. They'll actually help you feel more satiated, or so they say. People on the ketogenic diet, if you ever heard of that. I'm going too far. But anyway, check out my channel, Dadbot Fitness.
All right. And hopefully Zach handles some vomiting well.
Right as you said that, I feel like I tasted vomit.
And on that note, we will dive into the next
Almonds
episode
don't
of
taste like
BombSquad.
vomit.
So, plans have changed for the LM.
Oh no.
Because Tiri's gone. So, here's what happens. We left off last time. We had, Brick had a terrifying dream. The last thing he heard was, "Commander, wake up!" And then he suddenly sat up as Ingrid was coming back from an interesting conversation with some type of being that Ilyad and Tiri were able to just catch the end of some smoke and a flower disappearing. Tiri had stuffed a goblin in the hole that Ilyad had discovered, and after unplugging it, you guys took off into the tunnel to see where it leads. Sorry, I'm gonna change that. And actually, one correction on rules, Ingrid has power level 5 for shapeshift, so she can actually change her shape, or size.
Size.
Quadruple to a quarter. So you're thinking you shrunk down to gnomish size.
Yeah.
So you're like a gnomish size mouse from Redwall.
And I walk on my feet.
Yes, bipedal.
Bipedal.
Perfect.
I'm still in my dress.
Yes. And a hump. You're basically a miniature mouse version of yourself.
Yeah.
Perfect. So everyone took in. Brick gave one last look around before diving in. As Tiri, leading the way, squeezed her way in, she found that about 30 feet through the tunnel, it started to widen out, and she caught some voices and torchlight or firelight up ahead. Ingrid is directly behind. Ingrid, as Tiri pauses, she starts to move in forward and pauses for a moment, is looking around, and you're waiting, and she turns and is about to say something to you, and is suddenly yanked out of the tunnel. You have a moment to do something if you want, but all of a sudden she's yanked out of the tunnel. Like she's like, oh.
So I freeze and I push back on Ilyad to make him stop because you're behind me, right?
Yeah, Ilyad's next.
And I'm like,
All right, everybody roll agility then.
oh no! Should I have done something?
If you want to add something more to that, you can. That's fine.
That's what I
she
did.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Yes! 21, 2, 3.
Nice.
Whew, 32.
Dang.
Nat 1.
Nat 1.
No!
What's your total?
7.
7, okay. Sorry, I don't have everyone up here. Nice. Okay. Malik did very good. He's silent. But not as good as Brick. And what am
I got 23.
23.
You're supposed to be
nice.
quiet.
Wait, do I get any advantage from being little?
No, in fact,
that
you're
or
going to
best gas.
the count.
Okay.
I can't believe it.
Sorry, I just needed to pull it up here.
You're like, what's going on? I'm too small to stop you.
Right.
Oh, I'm blacking out. I hope I'm not blacking out. Okay.
Please don't.
Oh, you guys. The goblins rolled an 8 to see you. So as a team, that was a whole as a team.
Oh, yay!
So-
We did it.
Oh, okay.
Ilyad, what happened is like Brick's at the back of the line with Demeter. They're pretty much invisible at this point. You can really only see Mouse, Ingrid, the cat, and maybe Ilyad's face. And Ilyad, you're like as Ingrid goes shh, you're like what is? And you feel her hand just go over your mouth, and then the cat's tail goes over her head. Yeah, rat claw.
Two animals.
And you guys hear rustling, and what I think is going to happen is Malik, like all of a sudden, and Ilyad, you can see this, is smoke curls off of him and suddenly fills the passageway to make it look like it's dark. And he just fills the passageway with darkness. So all of a sudden you guys are in darkness, and you can just hear, and you hear these voices. Like the fruit cake. And you hear Tiri, get off of me, you little. No, I'll teach you. I can't do a good Zechariah. They're like, I'll show you what you're doing. Get away from me here. Come on, give it a fair fight. And you're like hearing struggling and shuffling and you hear her pulled away as her voice starts to disappear into the stillness. And then after a while, you wait, and Malik lets the darkness disappear, and you see the hall is, or the pathway is empty now, and there's no torchlight, but there's also no sound of Tiri.
What do us in the back, what do we see or perceive?
I guess it's hard to say. All you know is everyone stopped moving. Maybe we can RP with, so all of a sudden Demeter stops moving because Ilyad stopped moving, and he hears a shh. I think something's happened up front.
What's going on?
I can't tell. It's all darkness. I can't see anything.
Why are we stopped?
I just heard shh. Ingrid says be quiet.
Can I hear what you guys are saying?
You can probably hear Demeter.
And this is after the cave is closed.
That's like right when it happened. And now
Okay.
Ingrid's probably just letting her paw off of your face, and the darkness is settled.
Oh, never again. again.
What? My feet, my hands are not bad.
Where have they been?
In debt.
It's good for my immune system. Whatever that is. Not that I know what an immune system is. So, and that's, you guys have already just said that, right?
Yeah, well, now you've been sitting in the quiet for a while. What is happening up there?
Well, let me check. I'm gonna go peek out and look around.
Okay, yep. Roll perception and an agility.
Both?
Yep.
Okay.
Agility to be sneaky. Unless you don't want to be sneaky.
5 perception.
Okay.
And
Amazing.
agility is, what's that? 22.
Yeah.
Okay, you are silent.
Yeah.
Her mouse feet perfectly adapted to being silent in an underground area. Just kind of waddles out there. I imagine you still have your cane too.
Yes.
Out there. You look around. Your nose is sniffing around. Seems still and quiet. You don't notice anything, and that's the problem. You don't hear Tiri's screams anymore or anything.
I motion Ilyad out. I think we're okay now.
Shouldn't we have gone after him?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous down
Could you have
here.
heard which way the voices trailed off?
There's really only one way to go.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Switch that.
That way.
Brick.
Oh, that
Are
way.
we?
Demeter.
Demeter and Brick are still in the tunnel.
We're starting to now as Ilyad's heading out. Demeter starts going forward.
Reach in and try
They're
and help
moving
them
again.
out.
Yeah. So
Of course, it opens up, I guess. A little
Yeah,
bit.
it does open up. You can't stand up straight yet, but it's wide where you're not having
fine.
to squeeze. Yeah, yeah, you're fine.
Excuse me.
So I heard them go to the one way down the hall.
Yeah, there's really only one way. You don't. It just the tunnel heads there, and the farther you go, it starts to.
Creepy.
It starts to seem more solidified. There comes to this point as you're heading there where it actually seems like someone's structured it into something, and you're seeing there's a handful of chests and barrels and stuff sitting there.
Can we break them and see if there's gold inside?
I mean, if you want to break them,
Da 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 da.
yeah, you can be in. They're not locked or anything.
Okay, we can just open them.
There's just a collection.
Well-
There's some one of the barrels has this gritty black powder in it, and then another one of the chests has bits of metal and some leather pieces. It looks like just scraps of metal and leather that could be used to put things together. And then another one has this dried meat in it that's strange looking. If you want to roll a logic or perception to recognize, well, probably a logic or a learning to recognize what
I
it is.
feel like
I'd allow a perception too.
Okay. I'm almost more
14.
Just, ooh.
It looks like a maru leg.
Ugh.
Ah.
Like they've used the meat from the leg and made it into a kind of like a smoked or a dried and salted sort of.
I feel like if Tiri was here, she'd be like, "Oh, don't mind if I do."
I grab it and I start poking at the back of Brick.
Wait, am I
leg.
out of the tunnel?
Yeah, we're all out of the tunnel.
Yeah. So I'm scratching it like you think there's one behind you. Oh, Buggy! Buggy, big bug!
Should we keep moving?
What? Where's Tiri?
She got taken
Where's the baby?
with her.
Where?
I don't know, they went that way.
Brick will just run. Start
Alright.
sprinting.
Well, I'm gonna grab some of the black powder in a pouch while
Sure.
we're running.
Yeah.
Or before we go.
Take it slow.
There's a baby!
But we don't know what's up ahead.
It doesn't matter, there's a baby. We have to go now.
Then can you just be perceptive? Do some little doohickey with your helmet.
I'll put the helmet on.
Okay.
I'll put the helmet on and turn the lights on and go, ooh, okay, let's go find the baby.
As he's like running ahead, can I do a perception roll just to see, like, is he just gonna... I feel like he's just gonna, like, alert everybody.
Yeah. Well, roll perception. Go ahead. You guys are all heading there. Heading forward. The where the supplies are, it opens up and it's almost like a doorway.
Oh, nat 1, 4, 5.
Oh no. That's right.
I blinded him with the...
Yeah. He's like trying to look around. Bam. So you notice as your eyes recover from the darkness, Brick is taking out forward. You come in, the place like opens up completely, and there's actually a little farther away. It's like you're in a giant opening, cave almost feel, that the slopes down to meet the floor in the back, and then as you come out to your right, it opens up into a wide space. And down below, everybody can see, there's firelight down below. And there's noises. There's like the smell of like very thick smoke just starting to waft up. And not like wood smoke, it's like a heavy, just nasty kind of burning smoke smell. Not like a nice fire smell, but something you're not familiar with. None of you would really be familiar with. And there's lots of noise down there, clanking and talking voices. And Ilyad, you catch, there's a whole line of barrels with that black powder in it over there, and a crate of like these metal balls, like you saw in those goblins who had caught you, that they wear. They're like these rusted metal balls that seem to be some kind of intricate device, but again, goblins are very haphazard and mashy in their style, so it's hard to tell what they do. But so you see
Take
that.
one.
Sure.
Metal ball.
I have the stats for it. I'll have to get it to you.
I want to run up to catch up with Brick and say, Futig has her. They're bringing her to Futig, which we need to go do anyways.
I'll like, did she catch up to me?
Yeah.
I'm really
figuring
fast.
When you ran out, maybe you paused for a second because it just opens up suddenly.
Well,
Okay.
also, I'm ridiculously fast for an old.
Oh yeah, she's. What's like your agility's what, 4?
Well, mine's the same.
It's 5
Yeah.
now.
Oh, it's 5
Dang.
now.
Okay.
So he's just starting
You're a
to
little
pick up.
faster than me.
Also, you are a mouse, so you probably.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So
Futig.
All right, I'll stop and like slow down. Who?
Futig, the goblin.
The goblin?
Guy. Yeah. Maybe we should make a plan.
I agree.
as you guys are saying this, all of a sudden, and this is what Ilyad missed with his perception, all of a sudden, you hear the sound, and you all turn, and you see there's one of those, kind of like the gear chain setup you were starting to see when you were first coming down to the mountain, is this big gear with very sharp spokes into this large, heavy chain, starting to make the chain go.
Like it's going up.
So yeah, it seems like it's pulling something up.
To us.
Yeah, to your level. Because you're like you're basically in this cave like this, right? Mm-hmm. And it's wide open here, and it seems to just drop down. Okay. And that's where you're seeing the firelight.
Okay, hide
We need
behind
to
the
hide.
barrels. The barrels.
Brick, we must be prepared to rescue Tiri if we're going to actually help the baby.
Okay, fine.
Let's not get captured.
All of us captured is no help, I would think. Let's go. And like, you're starting to hear some voices.
Do we have to look around and find? if
You
there's
can,
something
no,
around
I'd
us?
say you can see the cave, the barrels are back here. You can definitely dive behind those. You could go back in that tunnel you went through. And there seems to be a pathway along the cliff edge that goes this way as well. But that's like wide open to that larger area down below.
So what? I want to take a barrel, lie it on its side, open the top so that some of the powder spills out, and I turn to Brick and say, "Push it when I tell you."
What is it?
We'll see. It looks fun.
Oh, this sounds great. More unknowns.
All right, so are you guys hiding, I assume?
Yeah,
All right,
behind the barrels,
Yeah,
ready
yeah.
to...
Yeah, roll agility with advantage since you're behind the barrels.
Oh, man. Dang.
Come on.
Demeter got a 19.
24.
9.
12.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I realized I gotta pull one more creature up. I'll roll. The goblin is just rolling a horrible perception.
Lower than 9?
No, they got a 10, but I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
average of you guys. I just need one more person here. There it is. Okay, so as it comes up, there's two goblins that kind of look. They look similar to those ones that had found you. They're a little more heavier set and taller than the ones you had fought outside, but these ones have like these rifles slung on their backs. And they get up and they're just talking to each other and they're like hitting each other, seem to just be joshing around. And they start heading toward that path that walks along
To us?
the side. No, like you guys are hiding back here. They're turning to go along that path that follows the edge of the cliff.
Okay.
It's just the two of them.
It's just the two of them. But as they do that, one of them looks back toward where Ingrid is and is like, hits sweat.
I just kick it.
Okay, yeah. All of a sudden, the barrel starts rolling. They both react.
Create
Take their
fire
rifles.
somehow, like the match.
Okay.
And I light it because, like, as it rolls, the trail of gunpowder or whatever it is.
You want to light it and explode the whole thing?
Yes. That's
All
my
right.
plan.
I'm not sure where this is going.
I guess that would be. I mean, yeah, you could just do that. I don't even know.
I create a match.
Just
Right.
two rocks.
Well, I think with alteration, don't you have like give me your boons. I want to just see if it helps me flavor it, but I'm pretty much.
Absorb object, aura, blindsight, bolster, flight, haste, invisible, regeneration, resistance, shapeshift, transmutation, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Summon creatures, sustenance.
Could I do like a perception to see what she's doing to like get
It'd be a
blades
logic
out
roll,
and
I
like
figure.
make sparks with my
Yeah,
blades
yeah,
or
yeah.
something?
Right. Do a logic.
Okay. Which is armor.
Boomity boom. I'd say too. You have all the things. You know, you have a
18?
tinderbox with
Yeah.
you. Yeah, you know what she's doing. At least you're like, she thinks this stuff is flammable and she's gonna light it.
Okay. Then I'll like try to like do like slice my blades together to
Okay,
make
perfect.
sparks.
As you do that, I think maybe you do your this is kind of visually cooler. You do transmutation, so all of a sudden your blades go from that metallic to that like soft, like the flint look to it, and like it scrapes off and it hits it, and the goblins immediately and dive down. And as it rolls, roll me a might to see how fast you can get the barrel, how far away you can get the barrel from the rest of you.
Okay.
Because you're sitting in a barrel of black powder.
Ooh, 7.
Oh my god!
7. Okay, so it's not rolling very far. It's rolling slowly, so it's going to explode. The goblins dive. They're going to roll an agility to try and dodge. I think everyone's going to have to roll agility because this is going to blow up like in the middle of the thing.
I'm sorry. This is a bad plan.
Oh please! Oh please!
Malik disappears out of
Okay.
sight.
16.
Demeter got a nat 20.
Go boy!
He knows exactly what this stuff is. 20 for Ilyad. 11.
16.
16. Okay, perfect. You're like not diving, and all of a sudden you see purple eyes in front of you, and those dark hands he's gonna pull because he rolled very high. So he's gonna help
was
you
that?
out. Malik, the cat. Yeah. Agility's his thing.
Thank you, Dingle Bomb.
The goblins. Did not roll well at all. Yes. Okay, so let's see here what's gonna happen. So it's, and then Brick, you kicked it a little bit, and then you're like, oh, that's what she's doing. Like you just made it roll. You didn't really kick it, and then you're like, shh, and then you realize that's really close. Dive. So everybody like dives as far away as possible, and Ingrid like falls for a second, and Malek's shadow hands just come and grab her and pull her closer. And where's my ad hoc here? Yep. Okay. You see the goblins are like, they're fumbling with their rifle because I think they spotted Brick as he stands up and kicks it all of a sudden. So they don't even have time to like react as they're just like putting their hands up like this. And this is a huge explosion.
Inside of a cave.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to pull up those goblins.
I thought it was a good idea.
I think you killed both the goblins. I think it was just enough to kill them. Yeah, yep. It was one more than it needed. So both of them they're just engulfed in flame. Like it does the camera's like behind them and all of a sudden their bodies are just consumed in flame. And you hear sounds below, like all of a sudden raucous, and there's just dust and things falling. We're gonna roll a percentile dice to see if anything else catches. And you guys have I'll give you one reaction to try and stop the other barrels from catching. Because there's flame falling everywhere.
Can I say something?
They're gonna catch.
Happening?
Yeah.
Ilyad, remember that time when you wanted to be stealthy and quiet? Do you still want to do that?
I'm going to turn.
Your guys' ears are all ringing too. This is a huge explosion.
Everyone wants to listen for Tiri and then just kick all the barrels over the edge. At this rate,
do more.
I'm gonna use wings to try to get the fan it away.
Flames away. Okay, yeah, all right. So just roll your alteration, we'll say.
Okay.
We gotta switch it up.
So are we getting hit by the fire?
22.
No, you guys rolled high enough. The fire's falling down. You weren't hit by the explosion. 22?
22.
Okay, yeah, you're you see the explosion was a lot focused that way and went that way, but there's sparks and stuff falling back, and the stone's starting to fall down, and you just start fanning, and it's kind of pushing the fire away. You see Ingrid's arms, you turn into a bird's feathers or
Bird's
something.
arms.
Yeah, all of a sudden bird's arms, you're just Gosh. Didn't see this coming. I should have. So, I don't think we'll roll for initiative yet, because they don't know what the heck's happened, but there's a big explosion. So, I'll give you guys all something to do. You hear I think, let's roll me two 2d10s, basically roll a percentile dice, and if it's over 50%, so mark 1 is 10 digit and 1 is orange is 10.
94.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so yeah, that means what I was doing was it was a 50% chance that damaged the gears for the elevator that brought the goblins up. So in the explosion, it just decimates the gear and it falls down, and you hear this huge crash on top of it.
So we did break it.
Yeah. So that means no one can come up as well. So
we still can be stealthy.
You're like,
make a big explosion and go hide.
Ilyad, roll me. Do you have logic? Roll me a logic.
What would logic be under?
It's under your mental attributes.
Oh gosh, where did I see that?
Yeah.
Things could change
No,
here in a
nothing.
second.
Nothing.
Well, you can still roll it.
Okay.
Roll D20.
So just a D20?
Yeah. I would say you have advantage.
14.
Roll one more time. You have advantage because you're thinking this through right now based on what you've been saying.
14.
And a 9.
So 14. Okay. What I think you're picking up as you've been interacting with these guys is they're very sloppy. Maybe you could still stay hidden and have it be just work hazard.
Yeah.
Things blow up sometimes.
Right.
So that's kind of what's in your head right now. That's a possibility that could happen.
Brick.
Brick has already like gone full like he's like about to jump off the edge.
Yeah. As the fire, there's now like this crackling fire around, you know, but it's starting to go out because there's nothing really to burn, and especially Ingrid's wind has like blown it that way. You're hearing noises and sound voices coming from that pathway those two goblins were headed down.
I feel like I almost wanna.
I have an idea again.
What?
I have another idea.
Mop.
Yeah.
Mop.
Go ahead.
And
Go
then
ahead.
I change myself into a goblin.
Ooh. All right, we're under time pressure.
Why
so
didn't
you're
you
gonna have to
tell us
roll.
we could do this?
I wasn't thinking.
Roll. You'll have to roll for that.
I will.
Yeah,
okay.
because we're under a time pressure here.
Okay.
So for sure. Alteration. You're doing shapeshift.
Yeah, that was bad though, but hold on. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay.
Exploding dice.
15, 16, 17, 18.
18.
Ooh, with
Saved
a 2.
it with that
Did
exploding
you
die.
need what, power level 3 to just shift into something your size?
I
I think you can't change your height.
have 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, okay. So you got 4, power level 4.
I have 4, so into a creature 1/4 or quadruple the size.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're good then. You can become a goblin.
So I'm a goblin.
Okay. So all of a sudden you see Ingrid's form. Do you change your clothes too to kind of
Yeah,
look like
whatever the one of them
Yeah.
looked like.
All of a sudden she
whatever I
starts
could
like,
see.
and she turns into the goblin, and then her like dress doesn't quite fit, and then all of a sudden she just like flicks her hands for a second, and then all of a sudden the clothes transform into this goblin
And
creature.
then a little hump.
You still can't.
So now we'll recognize her in a crowd of goblins.
Yes,
I
that's
always have a hump.
perfect. I like that. So she turns into a goblin. What are you guys doing?
Brick, I feel like you and I just need to hide.
I'm just looking at this goblin that's just
As he's staring, can I like try and reach out and pull him?
Yeah,
'Cause
sure,
she's
sure. Are
probably
you gonna
fine.
resist it, or are you gonna let him pull you?
I'll resist it, but I'll look and let's roll for.
Okay, sure. It would be a
What do I-
contested might roll. Both of you roll might.
Okay.
I don't even know what my might is.
23.
I don't have it, so I just do
Just roll. Yeah.
Well, you have to beat a 23.
10.
10. All right. So he's like pulling on you.
Possible.
Brick's not.
But
moving.
I'm looking. I'll look over.
Yeah. Okay. And all of a sudden you see Demeter's like backing off into the thing and also gesturing to you. And
Oh yeah, that's right. Demeter's still in. Demeter.
the
All right.
cat also jumps off and gets into the hall you guys kind of came from, that tunnel.
We're just gonna begrudgingly follow.
Could I
like, do you really think they don't know we're here?
Could I create some darkness?
Yeah.
Just to.
Roll for it.
Oh gosh, I can't remember what that would be.
That would be influence with your
And while
darkness
he's doing
and
that,
his
I'm
darkness
walking to
boon.
the edge where the other goblins could see.
Okay, perfect. So as you walk out, and roll your influence, Ilyad.
Okay.
And
And I just go,
okay, as you look
as a
down,
goblin.
yeah.
Oh come on.
What happened?
4.
Roll with advantage because Malek's gonna help you. He also has the darkness boon.
Okay.
We'll say he's assisting you. You're both like
Explode,
peeling
explode.
dark now.
2. So I got 5.
Okay, all right. So
Jeepers.
let's see. Cast coming around. You're gonna get the darkness, but you like overshoot on the darkness. So now it's bleeding into the area, and there's like smoke. So
Oh crap.
no one can see you, but it's really obvious that there's a darkness of smoke and billowing clouds pouring out of the tunnel. Now you can't
It
necessarily
could
see
look like
that.
smoke.
Possibly, maybe.
Oh, okay. I
That's
don't
up to
know, it just-
Ingrid.
it's-
Yeah, you don't know how it's gonna play out. We'll see how it plays
Yeah.
out. So, okay, Ingrid, as you walk up, you look down and you see that elevator has totally crashed and it's smashed into, and actually, we might as well get the map out so you can see what you're looking down on. Yes, thank you. We'll remember the camera this time. So you're looking down, and it is just chaos down there. You see all those smaller goblins, the hobs that you had fought outside when you first arrived here, running around, and there's several other larger ones that are shouting, and you also catch sight of a troll like you.
Ulysses.
Ulysses, yes. I'm suddenly blanking now. This is terrible. Did we decide it was a troll or an ogre?
I think it was a
It
troll.
was a troll.
It was a troll.
Started as an ogre.
It started as an ogre and became a troll, which was my bad. It was a troll. I wanted a troll originally.
So where was, that thing is the gears? That was the gear that was bringing them up and down?
Okay, over here is where you guys, so you guys are up here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's right here. It's crashed down, so these tables are a mess now, and there's all these several hobs have come out of here, and then a few of the bigger goblins are out here, and there's the troll is over here. They're just running around. It's like chaos. They're trying. I think one of these huts, these ones look like they're made of metal. These huts here. Can you see? Okay, Ray. Sorry. These huts here seem to be metal, and this building seems to be metal, but these are like tarp and cloth. And one of them's caught on fire. They're like trying to put it out, and they're also moving. There's like other barrels of black powder, and they're trying to move them out of the way from the fire. And roll a perception for me, Ingrid.
Okay.
Where she's peering over the...
She went up to the edge and just is going like that.
14?
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much all you see. And the big thing you catch is a very overweight goblin who I think you recognize from, you guys spotted him in the beginning. He was out there yelling. He had the whip and he was yelling, and then walked into the tunnel before you guys engaged in combat outside the mountain. Looks like him, and he's looking around and he looks right up at you. And just takes his whip and he kind of like points and starts walking towards you. And you also hear footsteps coming, and two more of those goblins with rifles come running from along that pathway. So they're like up here, running along a pathway up here.
Okay.
And the one runs up to you and is like, whacks you on the back of the head. Not done it. You can roll logic to try and get a gist of the language.
Oh no. 15?
All right, yeah, you're getting the gist of it. I mean, you know, he's like saying, what the frick did you just do? What happened?
Fire! You know, it's boon.
With that logic roll, you realize sometimes goblins talk in common, because remember, they talk to you in common as well.
Yeah.
So you can talk in common if you want. The roll allowed you to kind of get the gist when people are talking to you. You can kind of figure out what they're saying.
So I have one of the guns.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna say, my gun hit the ground and sparked and it blew up things. I'm sorry.
Roll a deception for me.
Oh man! Oh, I actually have stuff in there. Woo, Ingrid. 13.
They rolled a 12.
Yes.
They're like, the one goblin who's talking to you switches to Colin and is like, what are you doing, stupid? You gotta be careful around this stuff. You did kill some of them. He owed me money.
Ow.
He walks over and he starts trying to see if the charred body has any money on it and stuff. He's like, clean up this mess before Food Tank gets here. Hurry.
And then I look over at you guys like,
Oh, and yeah, as you look over at them, what you see is just billowing darkness.
oh.
And we'll say with the deception check, they're not picking up on what it is exactly. At least these two aren't.
Oh.
And then you hear a voice. It's this like wet, slobbery voice. calling up from below, and it's about 30 feet or so down to the other area, and you just hear, "What's going on up there?" And you see the one who was like trying to find money in the dead body is like, "I'm not gonna talk to him, you can talk to him."
Okay. Walk up to the edge. This is my gun sparked and blew up things. Sorry. Oh, big one.
As you look down, you see it's this very obese goblin who's rather tall for a goblin.
I'm sorry, Footig.
You're going to be sorry. You get down here now. And he's calling two Haas run out with this ladder, and they're like setting this ladder up. It's made of metal, and it folds up. So as they fold it, they press a button, and they start winding these gears, and it locks up, and then it has these like claws snap in to the into the floor up there.
I climbed down.
All right, you climb down. What are you guys doing in the darkness?
Gosh.
You can hear all this. You just can't see anything. Uh-oh.
Can I activate haste?
Yeah, you can activate some boons if you want to sustain some boons. You're sustaining darkness right now.
Okay.
So if you activate something else, it's going to fade away. Do you want to do anything else?
Visible, right?
Right, yeah.
Or we will be.
You will be, yeah, as the darkness fades, yep.
Okay.
So you activate haste, you hear...
Do I have to roll for that, or...?
No, I'll give it to you right now, because
Okay.
you've been hiding in there while this conversation was going on, and you're like reared and ready to go. You hear Demeter placing his hand on the ground and whispering something in Dwarvish, and you hear that familiar rolling of rocks. Sounds like he's summoning his little creatures right now. And Ilyad, is there anything you want to do, or are you gonna?
Oh gosh, I'm internalizing. I feel like battle is inevitable.
Yeah.
Like, I tried. I told them not to do it. I tried. I said to be quiet.
You suddenly feel a weight on your shoulders.
The cat.
It's the cat. Yeah. And he says, "Easy, Pointiers.
Right.
Easy. There's always another way.
I know.
Let's figure this out. I
Must
need
you?
that old lady to survive."
All right. But must you sit on me?
You feel him get comfortable. You don't expect me to walk on my own legs now, do you, Conker? And you're so high up. Compared to that old lady, I'm always looking up at everyone.
Well, you better hold on tight then.
You feel claws.
I regret this decision.
So as you guys are talking that, all of a sudden you hear the two goblins that are up there still shuffling. They're like putting out the fire, and you're like, eh. You hear these like sounds, Nick darling, and you hear their voices starting to get closer to you. It sounds like they might have noticed that there's something
Getting
weird.
like nervousness. I'm like, in that moment, I look over at Brick. Ready? And look over at Demeter. Can I see them? Or because
No,
it's dark,
you guys
I can't
are
see
also
them?
blinded. Yeah.
Are they close enough I can like reach out and touch them?
Yes, you guys are
Okay.
all together.
I feel like I want to like give them a cue. I don't even know.
Do we have any plan? I'm ready to fight, but do we have to just dive in, or?
Can we pull them into the darkness?
We'll try to go stealth.
Yes.
We'll try to get them into the darkness. Slit their throats.
I'll unsheath my daggers, I feel like.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. You hear the cat. Elf, you can see in the dark, can't you?
I can.
I think I can maintain this darkness if you can open your eyes to see in it.
Blindsight.
Blindsight. Yeah.
What do I
basically,
have to
because
use?
you
I
guys had
can't
worked
remember.
together. Yep. Okay. So
Alteration,
Malik is going to
perception.
maintain the darkness. So you feel your darkness. So things start to shift, and as Malik takes over completely on the darkness, you can almost see the silhouettes because there's still that slight fire going on. You can see the silhouettes of the goblins, and they're like trying to push through and see. Go ahead and roll for your blind sight.
Blindsight, perception D8. Don't happen to have a advantage on this or anything, you know? Ready?
For blind sight, probably not.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Not one.
Oh no!
I got a 9.
9. All right, all right.
Darn it.
So,
Just perception, right?
no, for blind sight, to do blind sight. So what's going to happen is you get blind sight up, but you're like trying. What do you do for blind sight? How's that work for you?
Oh gosh. I feel like in this moment, I'm just. Oh man. I would normally use my flute, but. I'm blanking.
No, I like
It's
it. Let's do
perception
the
based,
Is it flute?
so-
Oh, for him it's perception? It's perception. Okay. All right, so it's not so much your flute then,
I
really.
mean, can I use my ears?
Yeah,
Just
it's
be
your
listening.
ears. It's not so much. Yeah, I didn't realize it. Sorry, I thought that was influence. Okay, perfect. So you, so we change it. The cat's like, use those big ears of yours. You can find them in the dark. So as you're doing that, it like takes you a minute because you had tried that other time and it wasn't quite working. And this time you're starting to get it, but there's a lot of noises going on. And as you're doing it, you're like, okay, you're picking out the footsteps, and you like grab Brick to pull him and kind of focus him where he needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, you bump into one of the goblins,
Oh,
and and you have a chance to attack.
Yes. Do I need to roll?
Yes.
Okay.
Except that's where we're gonna wrap this episode because we're doing a short one to see if Tiri can come back. So you've just bumped into one of the goblins. You're both blinded, basically, but now you can see. You basically have blind sight. The goblin's blinded, but he knows where you are.
Right.
So, whatever you are. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that little episode. That went very differently than I was expecting, as always. So that's awesome. Thank you to everyone who lets us use their music and sound effects for this. Check out all the links below for all of them. Sirenscape, Vinsfebt, Guild of Ambience, Jeremy Soul, it's great. And thank you to Heromuster for the use of your tools you've created online. What was that?
I think I hear Zach.
Oh, there he is!
Maybe.
Hey!
Zach?
So perfect. And yeah, check out openlegendrpg.com for the full core rulebook, and we'll see you next week. Bye.